Alright guys, how's everybody doing? We doing good? Let's let it catch up a little bit. Alright, so tonight we are going to start the Metroid Prime Remastered playthrough. Now, we're not necessarily going for 100% of the items. Surviving. Yeah, we're all just surviving. You know? It's, super fun out there. But, hopefully this makes it a little bit easier. So, I was saying, we're not necessarily going for 100% of the items this run, but we are going to try and scan as much of this game as possible. One of the big changes that happened when they went from 2D to 3D is they were able to introduce the scan visor, which means you can interact with as much or as little of this game's lore as you want. It's very Dark Souls in a way, you know, where you're not spoon-fed every facet of the story. You know, you read item descriptions, you talk to NPCs, but in this, you do it by scanning things. And damn, does this not look great? They really made the remaster look absolutely phenomenal. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, play. Yeah, I already obviously played through this game. So we are going to do a fresh game, and we're going to do it on hard mode because, you know, why not? This is the Metroid game that I know the most, followed closely by Metroid Fusion. Unidentified distress beacon has been tracked to a derelict space vessel in orbit above Tallon IV. So this is the part of the game you guys didn't get to see whenever we did the randomizer, because the randomizer just puts you on the planet.
The cosmos. In the vast universe, the history of humanity is but a flash of light from a lone star. The life of a single person should be lost in space and time. But among the stars, there is one light that burns brighter than all others. The light of Samus. Her battles extend beyond her life and etch themselves into history. Here, another chapter of that history will be written.
So to my knowledge, that narration was not in the American release on the GameCube, nor was it in the trilogy version on the Wii. That is something I believe was done in the Japan release. I'm not entirely sure about that, but it's definitely this is the first official time it's been done in English that I'm aware of. God, this game looks so good. Makes me wonder if they're gonna do... Japan does get all the cool stuff, like the manga. It makes me wonder if we're gonna get if we're going to get an upgrade pack for this game when the Switch 2 comes out. Alright. So this game has much more modern controls. It, dual stick, just like any other FPS you would play on a controller, as opposed to on the GameCube where you only had one stick to control Samus. So we're gonna go ahead and scan that. There you go. Switch directly connected to the force field barrier and go ahead and scan the force field because we are scanning all of the things. Alright. Just gonna walk around with the scan visor open. So what do all these? Deck gamma, reactor core and propulsion. Current status, environment. Okay, so reactor core and propulsion are normal. In deck beta we have biohazard research. Everything's all good there. Uh-oh. Deck alpha, emergency evacuation area. Environment unstable. Seems like the boys over on deck alpha are just straight up not having a good time. Alright, airlock. Alright, here's deck alpha. Let's see what's going on. Or rather, the deck alpha access hall. Ew, gross. Alright, lots of stuff going on in here. What is that? Unknown info, high levels of radiation detected. Okay. Space pirate. Death caused by severing of the spinal cord. So, yeah, I could see how that would happen. New creature. Parasite. Interstellar vermin. They travel in swarms. Very Doom. What part's Very Doom? Indigenous to Tallon IV, a single parasite is harmless to larger life forms. However, they tend to travel in large groups. Oh, the spine severing. Yeah, I mean, spine severing seems pretty common in the Doom universe. Such swarms can be dangerous. What do we got over there? Biohazardous material, phase-on batch 0009.A. Destination was deck beta. Also deck beta. Man, deck beta's getting all the stuff. Okay, so we had some escape pods, so clearly this thing, whatever this thing is, got out. Severe flame damage to exoskeleton. I like that they say it has an exoskeleton, but then, like, if you look at the image on the right, they've got, like, a skeleton. Platform does not look like it can be activated from this room. Okay. And another jettison. Look at all these jettisoned escape pods. That's gross. There's just so many of these things. Acidic burns to the body. Chemical type unknown. Oh, that guy's still holding on. Weak life signs detected. Imprints of a large bite marks can be seen on the exoskeleton. Yeah, let's help him along, shall we? They have both. They have all the skeletons. Alright, research entry has been downloaded. Small energy replenishes 10 units of energy. Okay, well, I can grab that. Tail section possesses mouth-like orifice, most likely used for birthing offspring. That's gross. All kinds of escape pods have been launched. Uh-huh. So they've gone down to the planet. Alright. How did he die? Yeah, birthing. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Hope? Birthing? Death caused by excessive blunt trauma to cranium. Well, just have a... Although debris is obstructing the hallway, it looks like it can be easily removed. Yeah. Just like that. That hole looks roughly morph ball sized. Is there anything else in here? Ventilation tunnel to navigation room. How do you morph ball again? There we go. Oh boy, got terminals in here. Frigate exterior hull stable and fully functional. Tallon IV ground zero area secure, crater radiation readings normal. One out of 10 just because it produced a cute baby. Yeah, she's pretty cute. But yeah, no, I wouldn't do that method again. Parasitic infestation has been detected in the ventilation systems of decks Gamma and Beta. Well, yes. 2 parasite queen specimens have become volatile on deck Beta. All security personnel should report to the biotech research area. Alright, last thing to scan in this room. Alright. Map station. Walk into map station holograms to download a map of the area you are in. Easy enough. Look at that. I like how her armor has butt cheeks. I just noticed that. Alright. Yeah. Very stylish. The most stylish. Alright. Well, let's carry on then, shall we? Onward and forward. Alright. Platforms last seem to be functional, so they'll turn on. Look at that right there. Access to deck beta approved. Elevator sippy break. Ah. Specimen containment breach on deck beta. All crew report for lockdown. That doesn't look fun. Let's see if we can make it through. Yeah, we can. Specimen cell C, status unknown, rejection of phazon compound detected. So... oh, Home Dog looks like he's seen better days. Severe internal damage detected. Well, then he won't mind if I... boop. Both legs of this creature are broken. See, he's got an internal skeleton. Alright. Let's see. Low life signs detected. Creature appears to be in a state of stasis hibernation. Specimen cell A, status hibernation, transference of phazon batch 0081D complete. Okay, so they're definitely doing some stuff. Phazon compound detected, or rejection of phazon compound detected. Parasite egg in pupa stage. Oh, okay. We gotta see it. All right, so there's parasite egg in pupa stage. After mutation, the carapace of the larva becomes rigid. Carapace is quite resilient, able to resist the attacks of many predators. The fluid sacs in the mouth enlarge after mutation. This allows for increased production of corrosive bile. Sorta, yeah. Combat mutation applications are complete. The primary legs of this creature possess galvanized tips, allowing it to penetrate any known alloy. Well, I see that was useful. The coils on this ventilation cap look unstable. You'll love to see it, folks. Ballistic support needed in specimen block F. Auto turret, use missiles to break outer casing. Okay, well, simple one. Oops, missed. Missile ammunition, resupplies with 3 rounds of ammo. Thank you very much. Auto turret disabled. Nice. Phazon infusion stage 1, parasite larva diagnostic, mass 1.2, length 0.5, cell structure stable. Phazon infusion stage 2, introducing mutagen into tank. Phazon batch 0732.C, status complete. Ooh, pirate data. Zebus has fallen. All ground personnel are presumed dead, either killed by the hunter clad in metal, or in the subsequent destruction of the underground facilities. Our research frigates, Orpheon, Syriacus? Anybody got something for me on that one? And Volparagam were in orbit at 0 hour and managed to retreat. Frigate Orpheon is now docked at Vortex Outpost. Orpheon's cargo appears to have a 100% survival rate. Metroids are healthy, but on restricted feeding schedules. Syriacus? No, that's a disease. Due to uncertain supply status. We are ready to begin research on the Metroids and other promising life forms. Security status remains at code blue. No signs of pursuit from the hunter. That's us, by the way. Samus is the hunter. Phazon infusion stage 3, mutagen or mutation initiated, larva status stable. What is that? Parasite larva info harmless unless encountered in large numbers. Plasmite, native of Tallon IV. Specimen solitary holding 1, Phazon level unknown, status xenotropic lifeform unstable, use caution. We don't caution here. That's another plasmite. Got any more juicy deets for us, Space Pirates? Infusion stage 4, mass 14.5, length 40.3. Wow, cell structure failing. That ain't good. Specimen cell structure failing, batch 0732.c does not match DNA, terminating infusion sequence. Infusion analysis. Specimens exhibit incredible strength and body mass increase when exposed to Phazon batch 0732.c. Okay. Batch 0003.h increases the acidic production in the larva, in the saliva ducts of parasite larva. Spicy. Biohazard waste may begin in 3 hours. Phazon radiation readings must be reported to deck commander before batch disposal. Bioform pain tolerance levels at 13% holding. Elevator. So yeah, they were definitely doing some stuff they ought not to have been doing. Severe internal damage. Let's make that some external damage. That's what I'm talking about. Hermetic seal is holding. Okay, so that's the batch of Phazon that they were using. Zoomer. Hey, we're getting the whole story here, alright? I mean, honestly, if we didn't scan the stuff. Yes, the simmer. If we didn't scan this stuff, you know, oh, would you back up, my guy? Alright, and you, knock it off. I said knock. 3 missiles. That took entirely too many. Yeah, it's just a couple other dudes. What are you? Ew, gross. Alright, we won't scan everything then. Just the things that look like they might be interesting. What's that? Like, it's interesting to view the Space Pirates as like an actual organization, you know, that's got like bureaucracy and like they're putting warning labels up, like, guys, report this stuff. You know, like it's pretty good world building. How did you die? lacerations to the abdomen. Gnarly. Yeah, no, they actually have like a corporate office. No, stop it. Scan him. Minimal injuries assessed. I need to stop playing this game like it's on easy mode. Well, and my theory for that is that the space pirates aren't, like, I don't know, they're not what you would, they're not actually like what you would think of as like pirates in the same way that, like, you know, yo ho, it's a pirate's life for me. They're more like, I mean, they're almost like a military force. Save station. Go ahead and save that game. So, because they're so large and they're like so far reaching, like, yeah, of course they have like a military structure to them and everything. Like, you'd have to. Otherwise it all just falls apart. Like, everybody's just doing whatever they want. Jeez, just a pile of dead bodies over here. Large amounts of blood missing from the carcass. Nice. What about you? Just no lifetimes detected. Alright, this is one of my favorite boss fight songs in this game, and I'm kind of irritated we didn't get to hear it in the randomizer. Look at that thing. Alright. Parasite Queen. Parasite female genetically enhanced by unknown means. A weak spot has been detected in this creature's mouth. Use your auto target to acquire this new target. Shakira? I'm missing something there. You're gonna have to explain the joke. Scans indicate the presence of a potent mutagen, origins unknown. Creature exhibits the ability to fire weapon-grade blasts of energy from its mouth, a trait not present in the standard parasite genome. It appears the pirates have begun bioengineering program with considerable results. They essentially made Roachzilla. Nope. There she goes. The hip swivel on Samus?
Evacuate immediately.
Hold on, we gotta evacuate immediately. Oh, we got 7 minutes to evacuate immediately? Anything worth scanning? Oh my god, why am I stuck? Didn't like that. Auto turret disabled. Oh Jesus. This creature is deceased. Alright, through this. And we're running, and we're running. And we're running, and we're... Ew, gross. Ah. There are just so many of them. I don't know that that boss had hips. There we go. But it did wiggle around, that's for sure. Let's go, go, go. Fun fact, they give you plenty of time. More than enough, honestly. However, the first time I did this escape sequence, I got turned around in one of the hallways. So, you know, plenty of time if you don't get lost. Oh, this part's cool. Yeah. Yeah, this is where they were putting him back together. Subject meta relay. Weapon update complete. Stinger ballistics online. Plasma fuel cell online. Cerebral casing stable. Exoskeleton seal holding. Begin umbilical retraction. Yeah. This is where they put Ridley back together again. Auto turrets disabled. Access to Deck Alpha. So that's a fun question. Barrier suit malfunction. Morph ball malfunction. Missile malfunction. Charge beam malfunction. Grapple beam malfunction. Cool, did anything not malfunction? Oh, cool. Depressurization complete. Yeah, no kidding. Samus is essentially like, I don't care that I just lost most of my shit. I'm gonna kill that dragon. All the space pirates just jettisoned out to space. I just noticed that half the debris that came out of there was space pirate bodies. Tracking on enemy target has been lost. Ground-based recon required. Begin landing sequence. Alright. Touchdown on Tallon IV. So to answer your question, there's the original Ridley, which is the being that, you know, tormented Samus as a child, got blown up by Samus's parents, and was able to put himself back together by essentially eating any flesh he could get his hands on to heal himself. And then he fought Samus again on Zebes in Zero Mission. And lost there and was really badly injured. The space pirates picked him up and put him on the frigate Orpheon, which we just kind of came from, and they essentially put him back together, turned him into the Meta Ridley. In Super Metroid, not only do you kill Ridley again, because why would they put him back together? I mean, he's useful. Like, he's incredibly useful. I mean, Samus, it's almost like, you know, you can't compare. Like, yes, Ridley loses to Samus frequently, but Ridley doesn't lose to other people. Ridley does not, like, Ridley is an absolutely terrifying force to reckon with. So the space pirates want to preserve that if they can, and when they put him back together, they enhanced him. You know, they gave him all kinds of additional weapons, armor plating, you know, all that stuff. Ultimately, he still loses to Samus. And then when he is allowed to regenerate again, well, actually, I think every time you fight Ridley in the Prime series, because you fight him in this one, you fight him in Prime 3, and in Prime 3 he's not only rebuilt with better weaponry and all that good stuff, he's also Phazon enhanced. You kill him in Prime 3, and by the time you get to Super Metroid, he's back again, but he has no cybernetic enhancements. I'm assuming Ridley was probably like, screw that noise, like, these things aren't helping, I want to be me again kind of situation, but that's, you know, my own headcanon. And in Super Metroid, when you kill Ridley, not only do you kill him, but you also blow up, well, you don't blow up the planet. Mother Brain is a petty bitch. And when you beat her, the time bomb goes off, and this time, instead of it just taking out the facility, she's like, I'm gonna get this girl, and blows up the whole planet in an attempt to wipe Samus out. But yeah, Ridley doesn't come back from that. What we end up getting after Super Metroid is a version of Ridley in Other M that is essentially a clone of Ridley. So it's not the original Ridley. It has no memories of Samus. Maybe some like deep-seated like hatred of her upon seeing her that it has no way of explaining, but it's not Ridley. Yes, the bird bunny, but it's not Ridley, not this Ridley. And then you don't actually kill that one. It gets I think it gets life drained by a Metroid Queen, and then the carcass is hauled off by the Galactic Federation, and you find it again in Metroid Fusion, where an X-Parasite has latched onto it and basically taken all of the DNA and genetic information from it, because the X-Parasite can kind of morph themselves into anything that they've been able to like absorb DNA samples from. They can replicate, and they can even enhance. So in Metroid Fusion, you fight an X-Parasite imitation of the Ridley clone from Other M. And then after that, there was no Ridley in Dread. And that is the most recent game in the timeline. So, those are the versions of Ridley. Hunter-class gunship registered to Samus Aran. You can return your ship to recharge energy, reload weapons, save progress. Alright, look at this place though. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at this. Here you go. This is for you, Hope. I'm going to scan all the plants and animals. Non-toxic variety of Silotalonesis, commonly found near water sources. More of the Tallon Fern. Lichen seems to be giving off low levels of radiation. No match is found in flora or fauna databank. Anything in the water? Can we scan the fish? Can't scan the fish. I know you love a good fern. But who doesn't love Ashley Johnson? Missile expansion. Tangleweed, plant life with basic sentience. Retracts into the ground if threatened. Tangleweeds are only dangerous to small organisms. They're covered in tiny barbs designed to trap potential meals. Tangleweeds lack the strength to do anything more than hinder large life forms. Cool. What? The Tangleweed? We got awe on the Tangleweed? Ow! You little bastard. You love the Tangleweed? Beetle burrowing insect with with a resilient carapace, extremely aggressive. The insect's massive mouth enables it to tunnel through solid rock at high speeds. Above ground beetles can cover short distance rapidly. They attack anything that moves near their lair. Mushrooms. Saturnine, small iridescent mushroom typically grows in dank, dark regions. You do not love the beetle? Well, that's not nice. What did the beetle do to you? A guide stem, pervasive indigenous species of bioluminescent weed. A sap sac. Chemical reaction within the sac produces violent explosion when agitated. Because of its irresistible odor and sweet nectar, the sap sac was nearly eaten out of existence. The evolution of an explosive chemical sac saved it. Now only brave or ingenious creatures dare to devour it. I wonder what the ingenious creature would be. Blast cap. Volatile chemicals within this weed's toxic fungal cap may explode if agitated. The poisonous flesh of the blast cap helps keep it from being eaten. It also detonates its fungal cap when it senses even slight contact. How are they still alive? Like around? Here we go. Zoomer anchors itself to walls and other surfaces. Avoid contact with spikes. A basic nerve center is located directly above the zoomer's mandibles. Detects nutrients. Sharp spines protect it from casual predators. We're not a casual predator. But the lack of a reinforced carapace makes the zoomer vulnerable to any indirect attacks. A Gemer. Wall-crawling mollusk with retractable spikes. Gemer is an evolutionary offshoot of the zoomer family. When threatened, it extends lethal spikes and retracts its head deep into its armored carapace. Okay. Stone surface this lichen grows on appears too smooth to be natural. What if I told you it was not natural? Chozo Ruins West. Yeah, see, now all the elevators are going to go places that I know. Pillars have collapsed from erosion. Carbon dating cannot determine the age of the structure. Wow. Chozo lore? The history of the Chozo stretches back into ancient times, so far into the fog of the past that we know not where our ancestors came from. One thing is clear, however. The Chozo who colonized Tallon IV made a conscious choice to eschew a civilization of advanced technology. We Chozo chose to live in harmony with nature, guided by the providence of the universe. We believe we will spend peaceful days here and plan to leave our words from time to time. I love the fact that that's not the ice beam. No more mystery elevator. And I don't have to do that to get ice beam. Passageway to the shrine I can't access because it's got this thing on it. Blast shield on the door, blocking access. Analysis indicates blast shield is invulnerable to beam weapons. Explosive weapons may damage it. I'm just gonna kind of... Just gonna kind of sneak around there. It won't let me scan the object that's out of reach. Large branches have been forcibly intertwined, forming what looks to be a bridge structure.
Recorded to logbook.
War Wasp Hive. Primary War Wasp dwelling, only vulnerable to heavy weaponry. War Wasps build their homes over existing crevices, using whatever materials are close at hand. Carry building fragments back to their construction site with their forelegs and glue them into place. With adhesives secreted from their abdomen. Gross. Leaves appear to be unnaturally dried and withered. I like how they're just like, yeah, we should tell them these stones are here because they fell.
Recorded to logbook.
Scarab. Exploding parasites. They can embed their bodies in solid rock. Scarabs think nothing of sacrificing themselves for the safety of the swarm. When a hostile life form is sighted, they block its progress by embedding themselves in floors and walls. Embedded scarabs violently self-destruct when threatened. Or when shot. Oh, hope I know you like the eye stuff. Too many bugs here. An ion. Immobile organism entirely composed of ocular tissue. Capable of launching sustained energy beams when active, the ion is sensitive to light and will close shut if a bright flash ignites nearby. Ooh, more Shozo lore.
Recorded to logbook.
Many long years have passed since we Chozo first took root in this land. Passage of time has always been a source of fascination to us. It is the belief of many Chozo sages that the truths of the universe hide within the tumbling currents of time's flow. Even as we search for answers there, however, we find illumination in other, unexpected places. We know not how the ability has come to us, but recently many Chozo have begun to sense things beyond the realm of ordinary perception. Strange sights and inexplicable sensations flood our minds, filling us with visions. We take this growing ability to be a sign of our burgeoning harmonization with the infinite. Perhaps, finally, the universe's secrets are becoming known to us. Elevated toxicity levels found in tree bark. So the Chozo that live here, they are very much like naturalists. It does not appear important. Nice.
Recorded to logbook.
Yeah, you don't like the eye stuff? War Wasp, airborne insect equipped with a venomous stinger capable of shearing steel. Everything on this planet is just so good at just like cutting metal apart. The War Wasp rarely strays far from its hive unless it is pursuing an immediate threat. It attacks with no regard for its own survival, dive bombing its enemies with a stinger extended. Fast-working toxins from the stinger can incapacitate most small organisms. Well, luckily, I'm not most small organisms, and also, I don't want to pick a fight with war wasps. Let's get near the save station. Yeah, a regular wasp that can, shred steel. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, the Chozo here are very much like they're essentially like Chozo hippies. The Chozo that colonized Zebes were like warriors essentially. They basically, led a life of conquest until they got to a point where they were like, maybe we're the bad guys, and then they stopped. Well, a lot of them stopped. I think those Chozo kind of had two tribes. There was the Thoha tribe, which were more science-based, which was the tribe that picked Samus up. And then there's the Mawkin tribe, which were the warriors. So you had like the warriors and the scholars, essentially. And the scholars decided that they were done with the conquering bit. There used to be water here. It's a big old hive right there, isn't it? And what are you?
Recorded to logbook.
Plasmite. Small insect capable of storing and releasing thermal energy. Plasmites are attracted to sources of heat, thriving on the energy present there. They emit light when hunting, and will expel small bursts of thermal energy when threatened. Alright, well, expel that energy then. More tangleweed. That water looks awful. It's a trap. I also like this boss theme. Like this game, the music, so good.
Recorded to logbook.
Hive Mecha Security Unit program to work with predatory hive dwellers. A design flaw makes the shielding on the Hive Mecha weak around the access ports. These units are second-generation combat drones able to interface with organic units at higher level. They train, shelter, and work with hive-dwelling predators. Unarmed, they rely on their hive beasts to handle any threats, which would be these guys. No. There we go.
Recorded to logbook.
Ram War Wasp. Airborne predator circles its prey, then strikes. War Wasps are the only species on Tallon IV to evolve a true hive mind. Nesting in damp, dark places, Ram War Wasps emerge in small groups when threatened and circle their enemy at high speeds, disorienting it, striking from all sides as a single intelligence. They can fell huge organisms. Ow. Ow. This boss fight's actually gonna to be a bit of a challenge this time around. Watch the mini-map. Little compass up there. Last one. And we're done. Get our missile launcher back. Excuse me. Energy tank acquired. Alright. Can't go any further that way until we get the morph ball, so let's head back. Nice. Alright. Let's grab a couple things on the way to the save station. Like, oops. It's so weird not having a double jump. Missile expansion. Ow. Map station. Go ahead and get the map of this area. Head back to the save room, and I think that might be a good stopping point for the evening. Well, evening for me, anyway. All right. Well, that's part one. I imagine this will go maybe a little bit faster than the randomizer. I will likely die more than I did in the randomizer just because I have it on hard. So things are going to hit harder. I'm going to deal less damage. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard. I'll see you guys then. Thanks for hanging out. Bye, guys.